Hello, everybody. My name is Flynn. I'm very excited to be here with you this morning in our time. Maybe it's the evening for you all. And I'm joined by Bianca Beers once more. How are you, Bianca?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for waking up again with us in the morning. Nice and early.
Just for you.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. Certainly going to have a fun time today. Our very first sketch party here in our region. This is something that the Adobe Live team do a little bit, and we thought that's a cool idea. Let's get someone lots of fun who does some really fun, exciting illustration and artistic work to come and join in, and Bianca said yes, which is awesome. Hello, everybody in chat. Some friendly faces there. Great to see you all. So what we're going to do today is a bit of a sketch party. So we're going to get your feedback on which direction we should go with some of the illustration ideas. And Bianca has a file ready to go. We'll have a look at that in a little bit. And you'll get to choose which direction Bianca goes. So choose your own adventure with Bianca at the helm. Should be super cool. And I think we have the file to share with you as well. So if you have pen or paper or iPad or a Surface or whatever you might have at home, you can sketch along with us. And so we'll share that out in a moment. Have you sent that to me, Bianca? I just want to double check that you have.
No, I have not yet.
Okay.
I'll do it now. I'll do it right now.
All right. Awesome.
While we chat.
That is awesome. So send that through, and we'll share that on Dropbox, and then everyone can have a bit of a turn.
Doing that right now, my love.
Nice one. So we'd love to know if you do illustrate, like those in the audience, and what you use as well. Super curious, because Bianca uses a Surface Pro. I think you have two Surface Pros in front of you, I think, today.
Yes, I do.
One for the camera and one for the artwork. And if you're using like an iPad or something like that, and you can also share your work with us. We'd love to see it. If you use the hashtag Adobe Live, maybe tag Bianca as well. It'd be super cool if you end up doing the illustration from today.
Mm-hmm.
That would be super
I just
cool.
sent that to you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to get involved. I'd like to see everyone's different styles and takes on. I sent you all 4 images, so we're selecting from 4 options.
Cool.
So whichever one we end up going with, you could just use the photo reference for that one.
Awesome. Well, while I do that behind the scenes, should we just have a look at some of your finished work? So people that might not have caught the first stream that we did together, might not be familiar with your work, can have a bit of a look at Bianca Beers and her work.
Sweet. Okie dokie. So this is my Instagram. Everyone, feel free to follow me. It's Bianca Beers. So we preloaded some, didn't we? Actually, this one is the one that we've got in the background, which I really love. That's a recent one. Nice and pretty. That was just, I've had a lot of spare time recently, so I've been drawing a lot more for pleasure rather than for work, which has been really great. So that was just a fun little one that I used a photo reference from. And then, did that come up on screen?
Yep.
It did, didn't it? And then this guy is one that I didn't share last week, so I thought I'd mix it up. These are some old Air Forces of mine that I customized and did a little photo shoot with, which I really loved. I really, really enjoy customizing sneakers because I'm a sneakerhead and I have a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
So the minute I get bored with them, instead of like selling them or throwing them out, I just fix them up, which I encourage everyone to do with their clothes, especially in this spare time, like learn how to DIY and mix things up a little bit. And then I don't know if I shared this last time, but this was a recent commission I had, just drawing someone's portrait. And I really like it because I actually know this gal, Tay. She's gorgeous. And I just wanted to give her a bit of like an alien feel. So I just exaggerated some of her features and got rid of the pupils, which I like to do sometimes.
Yeah, cool. I don't think we saw that last time, so that's cool to see.
No? Oh, awesome. So this is more like detailed, like a longer portrait. So usually it'd be 2+ hours, whereas the other style that I showed earlier, the kind of sketchy style, can be done within an hour on a good day.
On a good day. Is today a good day?
We shall see, won't we? All right. So
Very
I feel
cool.
like keep it short and sweet with that one.
Yeah,
And then
great.
we'll head over to, did we want to see the pictures that everyone can choose from?
Yeah, absolutely. So just before we do that, I'm just going to quickly share our schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check this out. So this is what's happening this week. Well, this is what has been happening this week, really. So we had Dale Wagini with some illustration, photography-based illustration. Idea development with Jeremy Lord. That was yesterday. We are here at Sketch Party with Bianca Beers. And then this time tomorrow, we're editing in Lightroom with Ichiban Benjamin Lee, who is making his working from home Adobe Live debut. So that's going to be very exciting. So stick around for that. And then, yeah, okay, let's get stuck into it. Let's have a look at our options for today. Need like boss fight music. Cool.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, so do you want to explain kind of what we're doing here?
Sure. So we've got 4 options to choose from. Basically, whichever the audience chooses, we're going to draw. So I'll be drawing on screen, and I encourage you guys to sketch or draw as well. So I've actually never drawn anyone side profile. So I included 2 of those options just for funsies.
Cool.
And then we've got some front. So I just really love the makeup and the shape on this gal. This woman has beautiful side profile, and I really enjoy that. I'm actually trying this hairstyle next, the little shaved love heart.
Oh yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna give it a go.
Cool.
I love this mohawk, so I was really digging this and the makeup and the blingy bling jewelry, and then chuck in Smino for good measure. Just for some male energy.
Is this another musician that I should know that I don't know?
Smino's really good, actually. Yes, you may want to look him up.
Okay.
I feel like you'd vibe his music. Yeah. I can send you some links.
You have a 100% success rate with introducing me to musicians. So yeah, we'll check it out.
All right. I got you. Don't you worry.
Thank you. So we have a straw poll in the chat, and we are going to give you about 2 minutes to pick. About 2 minutes to pick A, B, C, or D. That's all you need to do. Just need to click it. And then, Johanna, you can be in charge of that. So you let us know, sort of once we're done. I can set the timer for 2 minutes. What do you think about that? That's cool. Let's do that.
Awesome.
Let's do that. There we go. 2 minutes. So as we're doing that, and we'll just go with that, whichever one has the most votes, and that's what we'll be doing today. But if you download the file, which is also there, just in chat, so you can scroll up just on behance.net/live, just in case you're watching this on YouTube. That's where you'll need to go to download the file. You can draw along with us, or you could go in a different direction. We'd love to see what you do. Hang out with us, have a sketch party. And as we're doing this, Bianca, I want to get an idea of, like, do you always use reference with your imagery?
I do. I've actually recently been thinking about maybe not doing that and maybe just trying to come up with stuff out of my imagination. But as it stands, I always use a photo reference. Yeah. Just because I guess I'm a very visual person, and having something to look at, like, you can always change it up from what you see. But I guess I like having something to study. Yeah. I don't know if I'm that imaginative, but we'll see, because I'm going to venture into that side of things hopefully soon.
Yeah, cool.
But me personally, like, I see, like, these I just found within 10 minutes last night. There's always a beautiful face or an interesting face or interesting dress sense to draw. And, like, I don't know if other people have the same compulsion, but when I see something like that, I just feel like I need to draw it. Like, I need to draw that. It's like I need to capture it kind of thing. Got to catch them all kind of vibes.
Got to catch them all. I like it. Yeah, because we were talking before about flowers, which might be something that you draw quite a lot and you're fond of. And you were saying that on your walks, you just keep discovering all these great flowers. You keep taking photos of them, and you're like, yeah, I got to draw that.
Yeah. And so we were talking about how that could be part 2 to this. So, like, this portrait would be the first element, and then maybe next week we could add the second element, which would be like a different flower, perhaps.
Yeah, cool. 20 seconds left on our clock, and then Johanna can tell us what we're doing.
I'm nervous.
I'm going to try some music as well, guys, so let me know if that's too loud, but let's get some music. I feel like we need music today.
Yeah, I'm vibing that.
Okay, that clock is now at 0, so I'm super keen. Let us know. Thanks to everyone that voted. Oh, Hamza is using the Wacom Bamboo one. That's cool. Very good. I've heard very good things about that one. Good evening from Chicago. Hello. Morning from Sydney.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah, I was just here. It's cool. Like, we can connect with people all over the world.
Yeah.
It's wild. Internet age.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Hello, Roberto. Welcome. What have we got? C.
Oh.
The Mohawk.
Okay. All right. We love it. Okay. So I don't know if I should, because I've used, 50-50. I've got the picture on my phone, which I can photo reference from, or I can drag it into the canvas. So maybe we'll do that. I'll just copy that part. And then I pre-sketched the outlines of each one. You're lucky I did that last night. So I might make that a bit smaller just so it's not taking up so much room, and maybe put it up here. And then where's my sketch? So this is C. Fun. All right. Cool. Am I moving too fast? No.
No, you're good.
All right. So I am going to select out my brush that I like, which is from Kyle's. What is it called again?
Kyle T. Webster.
Kyle T. Webster's pack, the ultimate pack.
He was just on Adobe.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love his brushes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the vibe. Getting my pen. I thought that like me drawing would be on the screen, but it's not. Anyway, didn't set it up right. Maybe next time. All right. So for this, I might even select out color just to make it easier on us time-wise, and see how we go. So I separate everything into layers first, but then as I'm happy with a layer, I just merge
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the safest way. I used to work destructively completely, and that was really dumb.
You used to work just on one layer the whole time?
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
So dangerous.
I know.
Life on the edge.
I was reckless young teen back then. No longer. All right. Color. So this is another artist, but I don't know if you'll like her music. Have you heard of Rico Nasty?
No, Rico Nasty.
Yeah, no. She's nasty. She's a good energy, like really angry kind of rap. It's good stuff, but I don't know if that's your vibe. You could try her out.
What would you guess my vibe is?
More like we were talking about how we both like chill hop, and you like Lizzo. I feel like you're like Smino. It's that kind of like more, I don't know, easy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I right?
Easy's good. Yeah.
What other music genres are you into, I guess?
I used to listen to a lot of hip hop, but I'm such a nerd that I just listen to podcasts all the time now.
Oh my gosh.
I know, you guys.
I got into podcasts for a while, but I got sucked into a hole. It becomes like the only thing you listen to.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
maybe, yeah.
So,
Actually,
so where do you pick? Where do you get your colors from? Are they just sort of randomly picked from the palette, or?
um, often yes, but sometimes when I'm out, and I love talking about Adobe Capture, you can get palettes from around you. So when I see a nice little landscape or something, like, I don't know, like you can even just be walking past some old school looking shops,
Yeah.
and the vibe could just be right. And then you could take a photo and it picks pieces to create a palette. And then that's automatically available on Creative Cloud. So all your applications in the libraries folder on Photoshop, you can just like click and drag and use it. But often I'm just using whatever
Yeah.
whatever I feel. But I use a lot of pink and purple, like bright colors. I really like color.
Johanna was asking, what podcast were you listening to?
It used to be called Waking Up with Sam Harris. Do you guys know? He's like
I don't know that one.
He's a scientist. I forget what type. I think he's a neuroscientist. And he speaks with all different, I guess, people in different professions. So astrophysicists and like monks and what are those people that like a sexologist, is that the name? You know, all these different people that are like oh god, it's too early for me. Really well known in their field, let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just really, really makes for interesting conversation. And then the other podcast, which I still listen to these gals, Bobo and Flex. I don't know if anyone watching listens to those guys, but they just talk about everything. So life, death, philosophy, sex, and from a fresh, young female perspective. Now, I'm coloring in white right now, but I don't know if it's showing through because the background's white. So we might just drop a color in. But do we want the audience to choose which color we use?
Oh, cool. So color for?
That'd be cool. For the background.
For the background. All right. Throw in a background color. We can just throw it in chat, I think.
All right. So, yeah, I reckon. So maybe pink, orange, maybe blue. I like to keep it bright. Not green because we're using green. We could use a lighter green, I guess. Yeah, whatever. And then, do you have it? Maybe purple? Maybe like a bright purple. All right, that's our options.
Cool. Take your pick, crew. A lot of chat about music.
Oh yeah? What do people say?
Oh,
I'm down.
Everything. Talking about Aerosmith. Hip hop is cool. Now only listening to chill out though, pretty much. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of much more mellow than a lot of rap, I guess. A lot of the
I feel
lyrics,
like
it's much more about the music.
More mellow.
Yeah.
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 Whereas now it's more about the beat, kind of, with a lot of rap. Exactly. But that's still like an energy, you know what I mean? There's a time and a place for it. My boyfriend's really into the newer kind of rap, and I'm more an old school gal.
Started feeling old with all the mumble rap. I can't get into the mumble
Honestly, rap. I actually do enjoy it, but I see what people mean when they say that they laugh at it.
Yeah. Yeah, blues, old jazz, funk, R&B. Yeah, that's awesome. So we've got some votes. Orange, aqua, orange. Blue looks nice. Blue, purple. Orange will be too alerting. Blue, purple. It's up to you. Up to you. It's a couple of votes for.
Okay, so out of blue and purple, what are people thinking? I'm probably maybe. I haven't done blue in a while, but I do love purple. Purple and green are good. My mum needed to come into the room. She's crawling on the floor.
Amazing. That's amazing. She is the best.
Okay.
Does she want to say hi?
Do you want to say hi, Mum?
I don't look very good.
Okay.
Oh, come on, I bet you do.
Hi.
I can't believe we just did that.
That's the best.
Oh, God. Bless. Watch out. You can walk.
No, I don't want to do that.
How good are mums? That's so
Oh,
good.
Jesus. It's Mother's Day next week. I thought it was last weekend, but it's
Right.
actually... Was it last weekend in the States? Is that
I think
where the
so,
confusion
yeah. The
comes
date
from?
might be different, yeah.
Makes sense.
Friends in the States, that could be right.
Was that a yes?
We'll find out.
Alright.
Not sure. Everyone
So,
in chat, can you tell your mum that everyone in chat is saying hi?
Oh, everyone says hi, Mum. Okay, I don't think she was listening.
Okay,
I'll tell her later.
tell her after. Yeah,
Um,
you guys are the best. It's so nice to say hi.
bless her.
Yes.
All right, well, I'm just
so-
going to go with purple.
Yeah, you
Or
are
did
using
they-
a Surface. There was a question about what device you're using. So you're using a Surface. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the purple's cute. Win it.
Nice.
You know what's funny? We were using the one computer, last week, and it did not lag at all. And now that we're using two, so it's less work and it is lagging.
Oh, it looks pretty
That's
good over
crazy.
here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's... Are you sure about that? Okay.
Maybe
Cool.
a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
A tad. Hopefully we give it time to catch up. All right. All right. Cool. That's a cute color. I like that purple.
Nice. Good job, chat.
Um,
Oh, it's next weekend in the US as well. No, so it's the same. There we go.
oh.
Hmm.
So what was all the... There was a bunch of like promo stuff going around last week for Mother's Day and all these people doing Mother's Day things on the weekend. So I just thought, okay, it must be Mother's Day somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's not?
No, I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's always panic inducing.
Yes. Especially now because you're so out of your regular routine. It's like, you're just going to go and buy stuff.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Has anyone thought ahead and got something for their mum?
I haven't got anything yet. Yet.
Oh, good on you.
Just be
You plan to.
toilet paper and hand soap, I think, are the only.
The essentials.
Just the essentials. Yes, it is Mother's Day this Sunday. So just a heads up, everybody. It's always good to be reminded of it periodically.
Honestly.
Creeps up, creeps up.
Whoops.
Oh, it's the 22nd of March in the UK. So maybe.
Oh, random.
Mm.
That's really weird. I don't know about that, but we'll see later. Alrighty.
Just for those just joining us, Johanna, maybe you can share the link again to the file if you want to draw along, whether that's now or at some other point. Maybe you're watching the replay in the future. We'll leave the file, we'll host that file down. So if you are watching the replay here on YouTube, you can grab the file from down below. And if you're watching live now, you can grab the file in chat and Johanna will share it again. And you can either pick this version that has been chosen by chat, the chosen one, but there's another 3 in there, and Bianca's already done some outline sketching as well, so you can follow along in her style, you could do it in your style, you could change that purple to a blue. It's your game.
I would really, really love to see people's versions. I'm really interested to see all the different ways things can be interpreted. It's interesting. And you don't even need to draw the whole head. You could like focus on the earring or like lips or something. I like doing that from time to time.
And what brush are you using at this stage?
This is one of the
Kyle
you asked me
brushes.
last time. One of the Kyle brushes. It's one of the wet media brushes. I always forget the name of it. Kyle's Real Oils. Cool. One. That's the one I'm using. I like it because it gives a bit of texture and you can mix it obviously. If you want to, and if you don't want to, you can just have it as a separate layer, which is what I do when I just want to like map out the shape of something first. Actually, she had a split in her eyebrow, but we'll get to that later. Maybe not. Maybe like this. And so I've been going on walks a lot just for like the sake of walking. And we mentioned earlier that for like second part, may add a flower, like a nice rendered flower to the image as like a complementary piece. But I have so many flowers that I've just taken photos of. Mainly roses though. I really love looking at roses. They're beautiful. Yeah. Anyone else been like taking photos of stuff as they walk? I've noticed it's become a thing. Like recording ISO. It's just kind of got the thing here.
Because I'm home, it's my wife and I and our 1-year-old. My entire phone is just filling up with baby pictures. Which is to be expected. But yeah, it's getting to the point where I need more storage.
Yeah, my phone's telling me I need more storage too, but I can't part with any of my pictures.
Yeah.
Not at all. Don't know what to do. All right. We might do a bit of pink now.
Lindsay's saying, yeah, because they have nothing else to photograph at this point. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
What else do you do?
We're doing puzzles. We're taking photos. We're going for walks. It's different time.
I'm loving puzzles. I'm loving it. Okay, so her hair's kind of in the way, but oh my goodness. So this computer somehow I think got a virus because there's always pop-ups.
Like, oh really?
As soon as I turn the internet on, there's pop-ups after pop-up, and then they'll go away, and then they'll come back again.
Yeah.
After like an hour.
We love it. That sounds like it.
All right, let's do this. All right.
Tracy's always taking pics of flowers on their walk as well.
Oh, nice.
We spell Tracy the same way, without an E. That's pretty rare. Buddies.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe a bit.
How often do you get to illustrate mohawks?
Never. So I was so excited to do this. I've never in my life. I actually had a mohawk. How many years ago would it have been now? Like 5 years ago, I had a mohawk for like 3 months. I loved it.
Nice.
And I was worried people would like spit on me or whatever, because I'd been told. I have a friend who shaved her head before I ever did, and she would get spat on and people call her names, just assuming your situation, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And so I was worried, but I've never received any hate, even when I had the mohawk, which I was so surprised about.
I like that you did it anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say F it, but we can't do that. So people can get what I was thinking. But I feel like if you rock it with confidence, people can't say anything to you.
Yeah. Some help from the chat on how to deal with the virus. It sounds like you might need a system cleaner tool. You can use.
I know. I already did. I already did, and still. But I'm open to. I only use this computer really for Netflix and like Excel.
Cool. In our last stream, you illustrated for the Honor Heroes campaign, and I've forgotten her name. I remembered this morning to ask this question.
What?
So I forgot
who I
her
drew?
name. Yes, who you drew. I mean, I know you drew your boyfriend's mother. Yeah. And she's always kind of been bugging you for a portrait. Did you share it with her?
Yeah, I did. She loved it.
Yeah, awesome. Did you tell her that you did it live?
Yes.
Cool.
I don't think she understood the gravity of what that means. Like,
right.
That is stressful. Drawing live for some reason, I don't know if it's everyone, but for me, it makes me really nervous. And then I just often freak out and just do things I wouldn't usually.
Yeah.
I guess working on the spot, it's like being put on the spot kind of. I don't know if that means, does that mean I work poorly under pressure? Or is it a different, because I always thought I worked well under pressure.
I think it's like a different skill. Like
different, right?
You're illustrating, but also you're answering my silly questions. And there's a bit of there's a time element in there.
Yeah, that's what freaks me out.
Yeah. But yeah, you're doing a great job. You do such a good job.
I try.
What is the tool that you're using at the moment? Amanda's asking. So you might be referring to the stylus and everything, which is a Surface Pro.
Oh, right. It's Microsoft Surface Pro and the pen. So I'm just drawing on the directly onto the screen. It's touchscreen. Love it.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not that or that, but I'll extend that. I used to draw with the trackpad.
Wow. Yeah.
Before I had a touch screen. And like I got really good at it, like quite fast at it and like very precise.
Yeah.
I feel like the lines are more precise that way, but that also takes away from your artistic expression because it's so precise. But I got used to it, and now I would never in my life go back. What the hell? I can't believe I was doing that.
I think, a lot of people, a lot of illustrators that I've spoken to have started in that way, like just with a trackpad. I know Jezri on Instagram. He would do his line work and then cut back in with the eraser because he didn't have pressure sensitivity.
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
know if you
right.
needed to do that.
Yeah. Yep. But it would make your lines really clean, but then you'd get obsessed with clean lines, I felt, you know? So it worked against you sometimes.
Oh, yeah, chat. If you're hearing the birds, that's on my side. That's the Rosellas coming to have a bath.
Really?
They play every now and then in the gutters.
That's
off
beautiful.
there. I'm trying to turn my mic down when they sing along, but there's some free
cute.
Australian sampling happening there. So yeah, Steve's like, yeah, it's the Rosellas. Yeah, that's right. I'll try to keep them to a minimum, but they are extremely cute. So
we have lorikeets that come and fly and perch on our balcony.
Oh yeah.
And then if you don't open the door to say hi to them, they come to the window and like peck at the window and screech. They're so cute.
Do you feed them?
No, so I don't know why they keep coming.
Someone else must feed them.
That's what
they've
I
learned to do
think.
that.
But my mum thinks they just want the company. Like, I don't think so. Someone has to be feeding them.
They want your
They
food.
That's what it is. Oh. Just doing the baby hairs at the moment. That's one thing that's gained a lot of momentum with like beauty, like changing the baby hairs, like brushing them to be all squiggly.
Oh, yeah.
And I swear that's one thing that makes me wish I had hair again. I've thought about just growing a little bit at the front just so I can make some squiggles.
You mean from like a fashion perspective? Like it's something that people are putting a lot of attention to detail?
Yeah.
Like how they're stylizing these little hairs?
Yeah. It's like gel and brush. Wow. I know, it's wild. It's cool. If I had curly hair, I would still have hair, that's for sure. Oh, I know this song. I think you're playing like the chill hop thing that I always listen to.
Yep, exactly. Turned it up a little bit, so I hope it's cool.
It's good. I like it.
Akin, said, "Oh my God, I googled rosellas. Those colorful birds are regular birds you see in the city." Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in Sydney, like kind of on the fringes of Sydney City, and there's like 20 of them around.
We have a lot of colorful birds. My boyfriend's from New York, and he is living with me for the year here in Australia, and he's always like, it's birdtopia here in Australia. Like, and you would never know how much that is true as an Aussie, but it really is.
Yeah.
We have a lot of birds and a lot of beautiful birds, and they've all got different songs, and I don't know, it's pretty. I really like it.
Yeah, there's a lot. There seems to be a lot out at the moment. There's a lot of kind of wildlife out at the moment, probably because we're not, I guess.
They're loving it, yeah.
They're absolutely loving it. Do you ever draw birds? Have you ever drawn a bird?
I have. So I did a collaboration with, I don't know if you guys know Print All Over Me. It's a company that collaborates with artists to make like all over prints for jumpsuits and jackets and stuff like that. You should look them up on Instagram. They're really cool. And they approached me to do one for when we had the wildfires and to like choose a few Aussie animals that obviously were impacted by the bushfires. So I did draw a bird for that. It was a grass, I forget what it's called, grass parrot. I just looked up like one type of bird that was super affected. It's like a grasslands parrot or something. Really, like just a green parrot. I didn't even know it existed. I'd never seen one in my life. But yeah, I did that, and the prints are available now for purchase. You can get like all different garments and stuff, and 100% of the proceeds are going to Wires, who take care of all the wild animals that were affected. Just to plug myself a little bit.
It's other than that, charity. Never. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. I might continue with the black before I do more of the highlights.
Cool.
Time-wise, what are we on? Just so I...
Yeah, actually, I have been neglecting my timing duties, having too much fun talking about Australia, fauna and fauna. So yeah, we got 22 minutes on our clock, and then we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A break where, we'll remind you chat as well. I've got some questions for you too. We'll have like a 10-minute kind of break for Q&A, which is always nice. So we'll get some questions from chat. So it could be about process. It could be about working as a freelancer, working with brands. We had a lot of questions about working with big name brands last time, kind of how to, with you, like how do you get like someone like Nike to notice you like in the sea and all that sort of stuff. So we can talk about that.
I'm happy to touch on that again.
Bianca has worked with lots of those kind of brands and has some experience there. Very generous with her advice and things like that. Or you could talk about.
I'd try.
You could ask Bianca like how many hairstyles has she had?
Oh, that is a question.
We could talk about Roselle's. There was a chat about want to live in Australia just for monitor lizards. Yeah, monitor lizards are pretty cool.
What is that?
Or you can Google monitor lizards afterwards. They're kind of pretty cool big lizards. And they're in New Zealand too. Yeah.
We have a lot of blue tongues where I am.
Blue tongues are cool.
I love blue tongues. They're cute. They're really cute. Okay. All right. All right.
And does she have her eyes closed in the reference picture? One of the...
Yeah, she does. Yeah. I might even draw the eyes open even at the end if I feel like that's a better vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when you just draw from the neck up with closed eyes, it looks like they've been decapitated. just something I've noticed.
Something you've noticed drawing heads. Yeah, that's great. That's so great.
Okay. I'm loving that chill hop. It's good.
Nice. Good vibe. It's a good way to kind of start the day.
Yeah. And it's not feeding back, which is good.
Yeah, that is cool. I'm glad you can hear it and it's not coming back through.
Mm.
So using the same brush but just much smaller. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How often will you change brush? Do you tend to use the same brush but just change the opacity, the color, and the scale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. But for these ones, I sometimes use just a regular round and then soft as well. Like the regular round brush, hard and soft. But it really, like, they're my three main brushes. I don't really use much else.
Yeah.
I should experiment. I just am a creature of habit. So whatever I do, I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Emma is loving watching you build up these beautiful textures.
Oh, thank you. And these are going to have to go a little bit lighter. Yeah. Maybe even lighter. Yeah. I noticed it's funny, like I used to get really hung up on super fine detail when I was drawing. But I realized when I'm sharing, and that was just for art that I'm sharing on socials or whatever, not for like customers or what have you. But I realized like you can't even see that level of detail when you're posting. So I've kind of eased up a bit with it and done more.
I think that's a really...
I would be zoomed like this and like doing fine hairs, and when you zoom back out, you literally can't even tell, but you spent an extra 5 hours.
I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about because it's something that has come up with artists in other mediums as well. You know Demis Rusley?
Yeah. I love Demis.
So photographer. Demis has talked a lot about that on stream about like how long you should be spending like really sweating like some of the finer details. Like I think it's quite an art to over time work out like where you should be spending your time. He'll make the point where knowing your medium, knowing where you're posting, if he's just posting something to Instagram, he knows it's a post to Instagram. He knows he's constantly like rethinking about how much time should I be spending on these really finite details compared to doing something else, because time is everything, right? Like time is so important.
Yeah, 100%.
And you don't want to spend an extra hour each time you're creating something on a detail that no one can see. Whereas at the same time, you know, he's got such an eye for detail and attention to detail. He does very well talking about the balance of those things. So I think it is important though, because, you know, if we're spending like a really, really long time creating something, we might create less because we might not have the time to create, you know, all that stuff. So time management is important.
100%. I might even make this smaller just because her hair's in the way. Or should I put it over here, perhaps? That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Emma's sort of, agreeing with that. So I had the realization too a while ago, stressing about perfect anatomy and lines, but then I realized most consumers of the art would never in a million years notice those details and digest it wholly. Yeah, exactly.
100%. You're only stressing yourself out. Maybe it's even a bit thicker. Cool.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Akin was saying that Bianca would be a great fit for Voodoo Val's design off challenge. Now I'll explain that because you may not have seen it, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, because it's often on when we're asleep. But yeah, they'll you know have two artists and they'll have like a design challenge and they'll have an hour to respond to the challenge live on chat. That's a cool idea. We haven't done much like you know between like with the US team and
that'd be fun.
Like Australian or Asia Pacific artists. That could be really cool. If they were keen to do a later stream, maybe we could collaborate like that. That would be super cool.
That'd be cute. I'd be down for it, although that would stress me the F out. I am down.
Great idea. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Maybe not that. Okay. I'm loving these two dots she has on her face. I love wild makeup and just like massive accessories. It's so fun to draw. Is anyone actually drawing with us or no? I'd love to know.
Yeah, let us know, chat. That would be great to know. Oh, Bill Hope's in the chat. Hello, Bill.
Oh, hey, Bill. You guys work with him as well?
Yeah, Bill's done. He's done one stream with us, and he'll be back on very soon as well.
He is a legend, like legend. Amazing work. Just choosing a color to highlight with that's kind of similar to the one I've used as like a base. I'm gonna do rough.
So it's 12 minutes till our Q&A break.
Is it? Yeah. Oh, geez, thanks for that.
It goes quick, doesn't it?
It goes like wild quick. What the heck? I've been drawing for how long?
We've been live for 50 minutes.
You're kidding.
I know.
I'm getting comfortable. This happened last time as well. I had to finish after.
That's why the 2 hours slot is cool. We used to go live for an hour and it was just a bit quick. Like sort of we get up and running and then we kind of need to keep an eye on the time. Later. Yeah. It's always kind of counting down the time. But yeah, I like these 2 hour. It's much more chill. We get to hang out with chat a bit more, talk about Rosellas and Mohawks and music and stuff while we're watching you do your thing. It's cool. Alex Mills, good to see you in the chat, mate. can't really draw. I think you could if you tried. Everybody can draw.
That's it. I love that. That's the energy.
Yeah. Alex, your issue is that you hang out with amazing artists and illustrators all the time.
That deters you.
It's important, I think, because we do that quite a lot. Like we often champion kind of people that are out there, kind of at the top of their game, working with great brands.
Yeah.
And don't let that. I think anyone in chat, don't let that kind of get in the way of you learning something. Like it takes a really long time to develop these skills and to work this quick, like Bianca is as well. We all need to remember not to be too intimidated and just to have a go.
I even get intimidated and think, what am I doing with my life when I see some artists? Like I was saying last week, but James Jean just kills me. Like I'm so inspired, but also so intimidated at the same time when I look at his work. He's amazing. And yeah.
Cool. Dennis saying it's almost 1 a.m. here, barely awake, let alone drawing. Feel like I can't go to sleep until they see the end result, though. But they'll have a go at the sketch tomorrow morning. That's cool. Make sure you tag us in there, or tag Bianca or Adobe Live. You can just use the hashtag Adobe Live if you want. Yeah, love to see it.
I'd love to see it.
In fact, if anybody does it and you do tag us and you're okay with us showing it on stream, we'll show it at the beginning of next week's stream because we're going to come back
and add more.
Yeah, and add more to it. Love to see that. So please do share it with us.
Cool.
Alex says, I can draw a stick man.
Cool. That's so funny. Artists get that all the time. I can draw a stick man, but that's about it. I feel like it's all about practice. Like I have a mate who couldn't draw for the life of him, but he practiced every day and he's like better than anyone I know now. Wow.
Totally.
Gonna add a bit of gloss. Maybe.
So are you bringing in a little bit of like light? Like are you thinking about where the light's coming from for that?
Yeah, so a bit of highlight just because I realize now how little time we have and I haven't done much shadow and highlight, but I feel like we'll have. I'll finish it off in my own time if I have to. But yeah, and then no, I'll leave that till later. I'd rather do the hair. I was gonna add some details on the earrings to make it look sparkly, but I feel like I'll do the hair first because otherwise it just looks like a monotone thing. All right. That goes like that.
Gina was suggesting, sketching over images is a great way to learn proportion and whatnot. Becomes subliminal. Yeah, it's a great way to start for sure. Yeah.
I would have thought that doing that would make you rely on it. No.
I think maybe like as a way. Oh, you tell me. But like I think as a way to start, like as a way to get the pen out and start doing stuff, and then maybe you can kind of drift away and then try it as a reference rather than like kind of tracing and use it as a bit of a stepping stone. I think would be a good thing to try.
I like having a very limited time to draw. Like, say, I think we were talking about it last time. Was I talking about it with you? When you give yourself, say, like a minute, 2 minutes to draw something, and it helps you loosen up and just actually look at the shape and not focus. Because I feel like sometimes you can focus on how the eye looks exactly, but as opposed to looking at that, you look at how it looks in relation to the nose and the forehead, and then that helps you just like get the approximate shape much faster and easier when you're starting.
That's good. I like that. So comment in chat. Always nice to hear artist inspiration sources. Yeah, that's cool. Where do you get your inspiration from?
People. So I love drawing people and faces, fashion, nature. So like leaves and trees and flowers mainly. And patterns too, like like geometric patterns, but also stuff like, you know, when it's super dry and the ground cracks apart, like the dirt, like
right.
You know,
right.
Yeah. Sorry, I realized that probably didn't make any sense.
It took me a second, but I got there. It's cool. That's on me. I was to be perfectly honest, I was thinking you were talking about the brand Superdry, and I was like,
okay.
That's where my mind went straight away. And then you said, and it cracks, and I was like, whoa, what's going on?
Whoa.
It took me a second to recalibrate.
But yeah, just so mainly faces, music, fashion, nature, other artists too sometimes. What about you guys?
Yeah, let us know in chat. We are 4.5 minutes away from our Q&A break, ladies and gentlemen. So please do get your questions in. Just a reminder for those that might be watching on YouTube, if you please come over to behance.net/live to interact with the chat, because that's where our live chat is hanging out. We can take your questions. We've got an hour left. No pressure, Bianca.
No pressure.
But yeah, let us know what inspires you as well. That would be cool.
I'd love to know. It's good to find other sources of inspiration,
for sure,
other than your usual, especially in times like this where you can't like go to museums or exhibits and stuff like that, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, maybe not.
Cool. 3 minutes.
Oh, jeez. That came around real fast, didn't it?
It sure does. What's the first thing that you're going to do on the other side of this? Is it like, are you really looking forward to traveling, or like going out, or like what's like the number one thing?
Going out would be nice. I'm just sick of looking like an ogre, really, like not having an excuse to wear clothes or like wear makeup and stuff.
To dress up and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, well, my cousin had a wedding which he had to postpone, obviously. So once that's rough. Back, that'll be nice. Yeah, I know, imagine. But yeah, just an opportunity to dress up, eat out at a nice restaurant would be nice. Date, like have a date, a proper romantic date.
Yep.
Beach, but I've kind of been going to the beach just to like have exercise and stuff, and like coastal walks and stuff like that. I've been doing that with my brother, but it'd be good to be able to do it without worrying about people walking past you, and you know what I mean, like having to cover
super careful and considerate and all that stuff.
Exactly.
It's quite the same. That's true.
Making sure you keep your distance, and the energy is different at the moment as well now, you know. So that would be good. What about you? What's the first thing?
I think going out on like a date with my wife, I think would be really nice. Like just chilling out. We used to do it all the time. Just kind of go for a walk and sort of sit down and have a, bite to eat and just enjoy the atmosphere and everything. I think that's probably something we miss a lot. And like Steve in chat, yes, pub night. I would like to go to the pub. I do miss the pub, but that's okay. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know, chat. I'm super curious. What's the first thing that you might do, or the one thing that you're really looking forward to doing?
Yeah, the one thing. Like, it could be a certain food that you can't get right now.
Right. Yes. Yep. Exactly. That does take us to Q&A. We don't have to jump straight to it or anything.
No worries.
The school bell is for us, we don't have to run out of the classroom straight away.
You let me know when you want me to come off.
Yeah.
Yeah, about now.
Yeah, around now, if you like. If it's all the same to you, we can just do it now. Cool.
Cool.
All right, let's fade in. Let's be bigger people. Let's hang out. So, we were talking about inspiration. Akin was sort of mentioning, like, it's always nice to browse sites like Behance and Dribble for inspiration and things like that. It's a bit like the Instagram infinite scrolling, right? Like, I hear this so often, particularly from illustrators. It can be, and we'll talk about it a bit before, like, you sort of see all these other people, these amazing artwork. There's like a never-ending feed. Do you get a lot of inspiration from there, or do you try to kind of stay off it a little bit? Like, what's your relationship with, like, watching other illustrators and artists out there creating work?
I'm probably not the healthiest person. Like, I'm on Instagram a lot, and my excuse is it's for work, because obviously I put a lot of my work up there, and I would say like 90% of my clients came from Instagram. But so I'm always on there, and I do follow a lot of artists, obviously, and you can get inspiration from that, but you can also get deterred from that, and that's probably something I should take into consideration, because I do let it get to me sometimes.
Right.
And you know what I mean? You're comparing yourself to artists that have been doing it for 20 years plus, or, and are just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And they're working with Prada and Gucci and like all these huge, huge brands. They're really well established, but you think, why aren't I like that? Like, why don't I have that skill or whatever? But bro, it's a journey. Just remember, it's a journey, and everyone's their own person. Like, comparison is the worst thing you can do in life. Comparing yourself to others, because that's when jealousy sets in, and you belittle yourself, and like, it's just no bueno.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like Bill and I had a pretty similar kind of question. So he asked, you pretty much answered it, but I will ask it again just in case. Hey, Bianca, what's your policy on browsing Instagram? Do you ever feel like you're overexposing yourself to other people's work? I often feel like I can't totally focus on my own work with seeing so many other people's work online. Dude, I think we're pretty much asking the same question there, because we can overdo it.
Yeah.
And I get lucky. I'm very lucky in that I get to speak with lots of people that are kind of very successful in their industry, and they all say the same thing. It's all the same, like whether or not you're just starting out.
We're all human.
Yeah, like people at the top. I remember a good friend of mine who's a famous graphic designer, Christopher Doyle, years and years and years ago, he was telling me he's on Instagram a lot. He has a love-hate relationship with it, and he'd just always say that it can be really disheartening to work really hard, to put all this work out. It takes a really long time to get quality work out. And then going to sleep and then waking up, and you can just open Instagram, you can see 20 visual things that look as good, if not better, than everything you've been toiling over, and it can be really depressing. And it's important, to recognize that and realize, we're all struggling with that. So
everyone does. And also, like, you only see the final product, you don't see the process. So some artwork, like, especially with these artists that are like super huge, they have the time and the budget to literally spend months on one piece, like months. And you're comparing that 6-month piece, say, to your 4-hour piece.
Right.
Come on, dude. So you need to really be mindful of what you're taking in and what you're telling yourself when you're taking those things in. Because that's like in the mind, your own mind is the person that you're having the most conversation with. And if it's not positive, then you are like negative talking yourself almost 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
What is the hardest portrait you've ever had to done? Good job, Flynn. What is the hardest portrait? Right. What is the hardest portrait you've ever done? Or like, if there hasn't been a hard one, maybe the hardest job you've ever had to do. And you don't have to be specific, obviously, but what's the hardest one you've ever worked on?
I can't remember hardest portrait, but I do find that some people are super easy to draw. You can get their whole like essence in like 15 minutes, and some people you like drawing the outline, say, and then drawing the outline of someone else could take an hour, 2 hours, and you still haven't got it right and you don't know why. But I can't think of a specific example. Some people are super easy. I feel like I could draw myself really fast because I'm looking at myself all the time, or my brother or my boyfriend, but that's because I know them, obviously. But sometimes it's just like the person. Like some people you can just get like that, and others it's like, how is it 2 hours and it doesn't look like you?
Right.
But anyhow, the hardest project, perhaps, I can't really think of anything, but what was most recent for me, I've learned how to create filters. And that was just like a massive process because it's a completely different way of thinking. I'm not very technologically advanced. We had trouble setting this up like this morning, and it's pretty simple. So that for me was really difficult because it was about 2 weeks of preparation and learning and YouTubing how to and figuring out the lingo because I wouldn't even know what it is I'm asking.
Yeah.
I know what I need to do, but I don't know the actual proper words for what it is. So then I'd have to figure out the words and what this means and what that was. That was a headache. So my first filter I ever made, which was in December.
And when you say filter, like filter for like, can you explain?
Face filter. So yeah, for Instagram. So I have some available on my Instagram, and I'll be making more, obviously. Cool. But I also do it for clients too. So my first one was for Diesel, which was really cool, but yeah, stressful as.
What did they ask you to do? What was it? A Diesel logo so like in the middle, or was it?
You can't. So the filter software is really specific. They have like a lot of rules. So I don't know if you noticed, but when they first started coming out, a lot of it was like enlarged eyes and enlarged lips and like squishing the lips together and squashing the head down. That's called face deformation. And apparently it was causing a lot of mental anguish for people because they were wishing that they looked like that. So that is now banned. You can't include face deformation in filters. Yeah, but people are still achieving it with lighting and stuff. So like contouring and whatnot. Similar effects, but not the same. But also you can't show logos, which I didn't know. So I was like creating it with the logo, and then it got knocked because you have to submit it for approval. It got knocked back for having a logo that is static. And I was like, okay, what if we make it a GIF? So I made the logo animated. So it was moving around, and then it said, no, you can't include any logos. I was like, we could have said that at the beginning. But yeah, it's a process. But what I did for them was just some face tats. Like it was for Christmas, so Christmas themed, and they wanted to be a bit naughty. So it was like Santa's hoe, and then I forget what other things, and some eye makeup and some holly and candy cane and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's fun. Like that's great. Like, getting out of your comfort zone to achieve something like that. Like it's challenging and it's, not something you might be comfortable with, but how great is it that you could achieve it? You could do it.
And you feel much better when you've tried something new and like managed to nail it. And you're always going to nail it so long as you stick with it. Yeah. I feel.
Absolutely. Johanna was asking, following up from our conversation about social media, how do you balance brand versus real life on social media?
As in like what? Like as in my brand,
That's
or
how
as
I
in
that's
working
how
with
I would
them?
interpret it. Yeah, I would interpret it as like kind of your brand versus real life. Yeah, like
Mm.
I guess your feed is like you are your brand in a way. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
are you're uh, yeah.
Well, personally, if we're going that way off the question, but feel free to correct us if we're reading that wrong. Um, my brand is quite who I am. So you will notice like on my page, there's a lot of me and there's a lot of my art and stuff I like. So it's not just my art, because then I feel pressure to be posting art every day,
Mm,
which is stressful. And I've been told a lot by a lot of people that I should probably separate and have a personal account and then an art account. But I have trouble taking care of Facebook and Instagram as it is, let alone two
yeah,
Instagrams. And then,
yeah.
so and I think that affects my my growth, because I think if I had more of the same, it would probably attract more and more
Mm,
people. But personally, I just like to have it the way it's easiest for my life, and then the right people will come eventually. So yeah, mine, I don't have that much of a differentiation between real life and my Insta. It's pretty much what it is. But I will say that I like to speak a lot about like mental health and staying balanced and positive,
mm,
but particularly because I have had issues with that in the past. And a lot of my work is colorful because I like work that makes me feel happy and makes other people feel happy and feel good. I don't like super dark or like depressing work because I
yeah.
prefer to be happy personally. Um, and so I think from that, a lot of people assume like I'm positive all the time and I'm happy all the time. And that is kind of not the case, obviously. Like people have their ups and downs. And so that's one thing, I guess, when people meet you, there's a pressure to always feel like portray super, super happy and positive and warm and like supportive,
Mm,
when maybe, it's hard that day, or do you know what I mean? Like, and also
absolutely,
you
yeah.
don't want to portray that an image that you're always positive, because then that gives like an unhealthy standard for what mental health is and life balance and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
we all
so
need
like
we
scrolling
all
through
need
my
to think
feed.
about that, about what we're putting out there. That's fantastic. We've got a great question from Bill. Maybe the last question, just so we do give you enough time to do the second part. Bill is
Mhm.
asking, "Hey Bianca, what is the state of contemporary fashion illustration? I'm always surprised that the watercolor, long legs, splashy ink style is so popular. Love that you're breaking
Mm.
the mold."
Mm. I love that style, to be honest.
Mm,
Watercolor isn't my fave, but done in the right way can be really cool.
mm,
I just prefer bold colors, and watercolor can be very watery and like wishy-washy sometimes, which isn't my
right.
vibe.
Mm.
So I like to think like I do something similar but bolder with this style. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Do I answer the question? What was the
Yeah,
question again?
absolutely. Yeah, and
What is
we
the
got the
state of it?
yeah, we got the premise of the question right with Johanna as well. So that's cool. So
Oh, awesome.
should we get stuck in to part two?
Sure. Why
So you
not?
have enough time, and that doesn't mean that
Mhm.
we're stopping questions. So feel free to ask questions
No,
as we're going through.
I'm
But that was
trying to
great.
multitask.
There was some excellent questions in there. So thank you very much,
You really
everybody.
were.
And if you are just joining us, because we are streaming for 2 hours, so if you're just joining us, we're here with Bianca Beers, illustrator and artist from Australia, Sydney, right here, having our sketch party. This file, maybe Johanna, maybe you can share the file again. So if you are just joining
Yeah.
us, we started out with 4 options, so 4 different directions, 4 portraits that Bianca could have pursued, and then chat chose which direction to go in. And we're encouraging you to download the file, and have a go at illustrating it yourself. It could be pen and paper. It could be using Photoshop. You could do it in Illustrator, Fresco, on
Mm.
the iPad, whatever you choose. And then tag us or tag Bianca at
Hmm.
Bianca Beers. Or you can use the
Yep.
hashtag Adobe Live. I'll keep an eye on that. And if you do, we'd love to bring it up on stream next week. So we'll be back next
Mm.
week. We're going to do another sketch party. We'd love to show what you've
Right.
done. We'd love to see that. That would be super cool. That would be,
Really love. I like to see how different people interpret the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. We're getting there slowly. You were saying you draw sometimes as well, Flynn. Have you been drawing much recently?
I haven't, because I've been streaming every day. So usually I'll do usually I try to have like a couple of hours set aside to do something creative that isn't a project that has a deadline.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult with a 1-year-old during quarantine, because usually kind of our downtime is when I'm a bit more free. I usually feel a bit guilty if I'm not kind of giving my wife a bit of a break as well. She works.
You're such a good hubby.
I'm just trying to get points, just in case you are watching. In case she's watching at the moment, you know, that's no. So you know, we share our time. So usually I'll stream in the morning, and then she'll go down for a nap, and then in the afternoon I'll take over, and my wife will get a chance to work. And we kind of split around. So at the moment it's a little bit hard, but yeah, usually I bust out the iPad and some Fresco, and we'll watch TV and have a glass of wine, and that's usually quite fun.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So you draw while you're watching TV?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Together. Cute. What do you draw usually?
Usually I like to just draw. I'll always draw from reference, because I'm not very good. I'm not very good at drawing in terms of like, hey, check me out. But I enjoy it. So it's like really fun. Like I love playing around with the different brushes. Fresco is great for me, because you can switch between the vector brushes, and the watercolor brushes kind of do help like make an amateur look like they know what they're doing. Like can add in a bit of texture and color into the background, and then kind of sketch on top. It feels a little bit more complete than if it was like pen and paper with a white background. I think I would struggle quite a lot to be satisfied within myself of the illustration. So yeah, it's always a bit of fun.
I want to try Fresco. I haven't yet. You can draw from your phone as well with that, can't you? Could you? You can.
I think so. Yeah, I should know that.
What about it?
I just use the iPad.
Yeah. Thanks.
Oh, I need to do that timer. Let's do the timer.
Oh, yes, please.
What question do you usually get asked when you post on Instagram? Like, what's the most common question you get about your work?
People ask how long does it take? People ask what I'm using to draw in terms of software and hardware.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it, really. Like sometimes, because I'll sometimes do a time lapse, like a screen recording, and I actually meant to do that of this artwork. I forgot. Damn.
Of this
I always forget until halfway through, and then it's like, okay, so you missed your opportunity. But yeah, I forget what I was saying now. I was saying that what was I saying? Who cares?
I was distracted making my timer. Watching this will all be available on YouTube as well. I think we were talking about this before. So we're live, but this is also going to live on YouTube. So you could always share that.
Yeah, I didn't know that previously to today, because I asked, because a few people were asking if they could watch it after work and school. And I'm glad that you can watch it later, but that also makes it more pressure to make everything amazing.
It is amazing.
Oh, thanks. I don't think you can see it on screen, but I'm just adding a bit of like reddy highlights, so it adds more of a brown color to the hair, but I don't think you can see it on screen because it's super fine, like on your screen.
Yeah.
And then I'll maybe start shading this ear, which is looking a little bit sad. Awesome.
Ibrahim saying in chat, you're just starting now developing your digital illustration skills. That's great. It's a great time. It's an excellent time.
Yeah, perfect time
to get into it.
feel like we mentioned that last week. I think everyone's upskilling at the moment, which is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, for those that can, for sure.
I've still not learned how to cook. I mean, I can cook like my couple things, veggie pasta,
Yep.
pizza, yep.
Yes.
And then that's about it. What else has everyone else like tried their hand at? I'm going to be trying DIY tie-dye.
Oh, cool.
So I might hop down to the shops today, get something from factory, just a cheap like sweater set, and then do some tie-dye on it.
Yeah.
See how we go.
Cool.
Anything you were hoping that you'd learn, Flynn?
It's work related, unfortunately. Is just streaming. Like, we just want to be able to stream out as high quality as possible. So I've gone very deep into the streaming 101 like area, like how we can remotely bring everybody in, like we are at the moment. I had never done any of the technical side of things with streaming before 7 weeks ago. So I've been diving deep into that world. Yeah.
Good on you. Getting better each time.
I really enjoy it. It's quite fun, isn't it? Like figuring something out and then kind of going a little bit deeper and kind of slowly improving. And things like making the setup as easy as possible for guests like yourself, making sure that the quality comes out with the equipment and internet connections that we have. In Australia has been challenging. It's been great. A couple of artists have been on, and I've kind of like we have a mutual friend who is this, but I won't shout him out on live. But who I'm just like, that shouldn't be right. Like that actually, like you should be getting a better up speed. Like who are you with, like all that stuff. And they end up investigating with their internet service provider and worked out that it was their internet was being throttled for absolutely no reason. They were getting 0.5 megabytes up, which is not what you want.
That's crazy. That's been happening with me, I think, since because I've been using my internet the same amount, but somehow as opposed to using 30% of my data at the end of the month, I'm using like 80%, because I pay for more just to make sure I don't go over. I use hotspot from my phone, so that can get mad expensive. But recently it's been getting me quite close to my amount, which it shouldn't be the case.
That's right.
So how do you guys figure that out?
Oh, well, I mean, he ended up figuring it out, but I was just sort of explaining that it just doesn't seem right. Like from everything that I've been, from all the streaming with other people and what they're getting with the same equipment, that shouldn't be right. Like it must be, therefore, that the idea of the, it's like a weak link in a chain. Your computer power compared to your Wi-Fi and your modem and then your internet speed, all that sort of stuff, it just didn't make any sense. So they ended up investigating, with their service provider, and worked out that there was a big problem. So it's a nice little silver lining thing.
I'm on that too. I think I'm gonna have to give them a talking to, because mine's not acting right.
Did I miss a question in here? I think I did. Is it difficult to draw comics using Photoshop, or is Illustrator more preferable? That's interesting.
Bill might know the answer to that.
Yeah, we'll just ask Bill. That's interesting. I mean, the answer is you could definitely use both. It would probably depend on the type, like, of comics that you were doing. Comics are really interesting. I have never really sat down and kind of picked the mind of a comic artist, like someone who's doing like sequential comics. I've always wondered, they must like template their work, right? Like they must have their character in lots of poses, and then recreate those scenes essentially, right?
Otherwise, that's way too much work.
Yeah, and then and
so they must have like this body and then this face, and
right, exactly.
Use it because it's always so detailed as well. Like every single scene, it's like, how did you get every scene is its own artwork? Like, did you get paid $1 bajillion for that, or what's the go? They must have templates.
They must, right? I would probably use Photoshop if I was doing something like a 6-panel or a
really?
3-panel thing. Yeah, probably. And then I'd probably layer everything out and have a background layer, have the outline layer, have character layers and things like that, and bring everything in individually. That's probably what I would do. But you can experiment around.
I love Photoshop, so I will forever say Photoshop, but I know that people champion Illustrator.
And there was a question again, so we did mention this earlier on, but what brush tool are you using?
It's the Kyle's Ultimate Kit, which is free to download. And this one is in the wet media brushes. And the title is Kyle's Real Oils 01.
Cool.
That nostril, I drew it really wrong in the sketch. I sketched them all like 11 p.m. last night, like just real quickly, like, oh my gosh. I didn't think about this part because last time I worked from a sketch I had.
Right.
And I still didn't have time to finish, which is crazy.
I keep throwing questions at you.
Oh, it's all right. Oh, it's fine. Don't worry. All good. Are there more? I like it. I like it more interactive rather than just watching me draw. Like, it's interesting to hear people's questions.
I think we had some people talking about what they were missing. Pizza sounds awesome right now. Yeah, it does. Bubble tea. Angela misses bubble tea. Miss it so much. Yeah.
Oh, I've never been a fan of bubble tea. It freaks me out. The tapioca balls, like the chewy.
Right.
I understand why people love it. I get it.
Question from Johanna. Is there one thing that you've been putting off that you're finally getting to now?
Fixing up my website.
Yeah,
I'd
great
put that
time
off
for that. Yeah.
What else? Putting off working out. I got back on that because we're sitting more at home and stuff, so
Totally.
you kind of got to counteract it a bit more. So I've been back on the workout game. What else?
What's your workout regime?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm doing. I recommend everyone hop on this. Well, every female at least. Chloe Ting is like this famous fitness blogger or whatever, PT. And she's got a free workout, like 30-day workout that she's popped up on her website. Completely free, so sick. So it's just like using your body. So like core strength, it's an abs and butt workout to get the perfect hourglass figure. And I've been doing that. So we'll see in a couple of days how that turns out.
That's great. It's so good. Love hearing everyone's
Have you
different
been
thing. We
working
had
out at all?
I started bike riding. Yeah, I started cycling.
Oh, really?
If you can, yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm lucky where I live. I'm fairly close to Centennial Park, so been getting.
Where are
down there.
you?
Randwick.
Oh, I used to be in Randwick, and
really?
I used to go to work in Central. So it's crazy how close you are. So I'd ride my bike from Randwick through the park to Central, and it only took 12 minutes when I got really good at riding.
Yeah.
Everything's so close, you don't realize.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's a good little spot here. So yeah, I've been doing.
Cycling's a really nice
that.
activity.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yep.
Does your wife cycle as well? Oh, sorry.
No, not so much. She's not into it.
No.
She goes for runs and walks and stuff like that. That's her jam.
Mm-hmm.
So Angela had a question. Hey Bianca, what advice would you give for someone who just finished school and is looking for an opportunity to work as an artist? Great question.
opportunity to work. It depends. You could apply. It depends what you want to do. Like me personally, I just went straight out and like got an ABN, got a website, and then started doing it. So it's your opportunity to take, basically, if you want to do that route. And you can do that on the side of a regular 9 to 5, which is what I did for my first year or year and a half. But other than that, if you want to actually be taught, which is, I was told, was the best way to do it, because you want to learn from other people's mistakes, not your own. You can apply for a job at like a design firm or like studio, or just intern there like once or twice a week, and then you'll learn the tricks of the trade. But it depends how you want to do it. I didn't have time for that, so I just wanted to work for myself. So I was like, I'm doing that. Learn from my own mistakes.
Yeah, I like it.
I personally can only learn from my own mistakes. I can't learn from watching other people. I have to do things myself.
Right.
That's just me. But yeah, what are you thinking?
Absolutely.
What was her name? Stacey, you said?
Angela?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Angela.
Close.
What are you leaning towards, Angela, do you think? Or are you not sure?
It's a good question. Yeah, like working as an artist, like that could mean a lot of things, a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Like a practicing commercial illustrator might be quite different to like a photographer or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, the different approaches, different ways of living. As you mentioned, you know, there's definitely some another path is like what Bianca was saying, is having that full-time job and then having this as a side thing with the goal of it taking over and slowly kind of you know, getting more notoriety, getting noticed, getting your work out there, and then slowly doing less of like whatever the full-time job might be and focusing more on the artwork when you feel a bit more comfortable. It's like a slower approach. You can do the Bianca Beers approach, which is like, nah, let's go right now and just dive in, which can also help because it can really motivate you, because you basically, because it's that sink or swim thing, you kind of have to. And it also allows you to 100% focus on that dream that you want to pursue. I don't think either are right or wrong. Personally, I think there's just different ways to go about it. Depends on your situation.
100%.
If you're renting, you have to pay the rent, or have kids, or you know, or mortgage or student loans, all that sort of stuff. Then you know, you might need to take the slower approach. You know, you might be at home, you know, with the family. It might be a great opportunity to spend a year where you're focusing 100% on your artwork. It really will depend on your situation.
100%. I think as well, what makes it easier for me to be doing it purely as my career right now is because I'm not paying rent. Like, I'm living with my mum. She's got like a massive house, and I've got my own place for a studio room and a bedroom, obviously. Whereas if I had to pay rent in Sydney for like that, I'd need at least a 2-bedroom room on like one salary, which isn't ideal.
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saving. Like, I know a lot of people do that, but then they're living week to week, and or maybe they're not. But I'd prefer to have savings just in case, you know. And it depends how you. Some people are happy just going for it and like believing in the universe. And I wish I had a little bit more trust in the universe when it comes to that. But yeah.
Ibrahim was asking, do you keep a sketchbook? Or if so, what subjects do you like to sketch? So I assume you mean like a physical sketchbook. A physical
one. Yeah. I do. Mainly it's just full of doodles, like when I'm on the phone or something. Most of my sketching I do digital, just because this is the virus again popping up, FYI. I do have a digital sketchbook. It's just doodles, so a lot of it's patterns and stuff. I actually framed a bunch of the pages from my sketchbook. I could show you real quick.
Let's do it. We've got about 20 minutes left, guys, just letting you all know as well. Oh, cool.
Wait, that's the wrong way. So like a bunch of different things, a lot of nature, a lot of faces, which is just what I like to draw in general. And like, I don't know, whatever's on my mind. You know when you're on the phone and like you can just
I should bring this up. Hang on, wait. I'm going to bring this up. There we go. Great. That's a bit easier.
Oh, okay.
Bit easier to see.
I feel like it's a bit, yeah, you can't really see it. But anyway, there's pictures on my Instagram, so you can have a look. And I occasionally post up pictures from my sketchbook. So, like, I'll just draw whatever. Like, it could be a vase with flowers, or it could be, like, a bunch of bananas.
Yeah.
Or fruit, a bowl of fruit.
Oh, cool.
Or, like, houses sometimes, landscapes. But I need to put something with a landscape. I don't really like drawing landscapes that much.
Like you need to put like a figure in there or some sort of object.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or mix it up and like make the colors mad crazy, or something just to make it interesting, because architecture doesn't really grab me that much. Cool. What's everyone else's sketchbook?
Yeah, do you guys
subjects,
sketch out there on a physical sketchbook? I've got a set of drawers just over to my left here that's filled with like all these like moleskin beautiful notebooks and everything like that. I haven't used them in years.
Love them.
I never use them.
I'm
all digital.
That's a way.
I know.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
It's just the easiest way. Like, you can have your digital pad or whatever on you at all times, and that has all these brushes that you can select from. Whereas if you wanted that option in real life, you've got to carry like a whole fat pencil case full of stuff. I'm going to use, I don't know if anyone else finds this, but like when you use your pen to use the soft edge brush, it doesn't come out as well as when you use a trackpad. Has anyone else noticed that?
Really?
Yeah, I find it better to just use a trackpad.
Are you using the trackpad now?
Yeah, just for like dots. I don't know.
Very nice. That's interesting. It's a funny quirk.
Yeah. What do I do? That doesn't even look any different. Oh, that's why. I've got the mixing tool on.
Johanna's saying she can take my notebooks off my hands if I don't want them. Yeah, okay.
I was thinking the same thing.
Next time I see you. For sure. Send some to me. Yeah, sure.
Just send them out to everyone in chat.
I used to work for a design school, and we had some made like with the branding. Unfortunately, towards the end of the school being bought out, and so it doesn't exist anymore. But we made someone overordered, and we ended up with like boxes and boxes of them. And so everyone rated it, like all the students, all the teachers, absolutely everyone got like almost a whole box full of like these beautiful notebooks. So everyone was quite
stunning.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Stunning. I'm a sucker for notepads and like sketchbooks and stuff like that whenever they're on sale. Like if I walk past Typo or Eckersley's or something, I have to grab a sketchbook. And like you haven't even used the ones you have, but still buying more. It's funny.
We're talking about moleskins here, but I was getting into the field notes ones. I don't know if anyone in chat or if you've tried those ones before. They're the ones that are made by Draplin. And they were super cool. I was into those for quite a while.
I know that one.
All digital these days.
It's the way of the future.
It's true. Just always there.
Yeah. All right.
We got 15 minutes. 14 and a half minutes to be more precise.
To be exact.
on the clock.
We can do that, I reckon. Yeah, okay. I forgot that was a sketch line that we weren't necessarily using. I kind of like it, so I might just reduce it for now.
So can you take us through what you're doing at the moment?
Right now, I'm trying to do a quick shade on the jewel in the middle of the earring.
Ah, okay.
The emerald looking thing. Just using I was using the soft brush for like sparkles before, but I'm going to have to add more rough detailing to bring those the blingy kind of. I use the soft edge brush for like bling, but it only works against a bit of a rougher background because then you can see the shine. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Like you need the contrast to make it
yeah,
shine?
that's right. Basically, yes.
Nice. Oh, I always bring things down to the most basic level. That's how.
Love that.
That's how I understand things.
Part of the job.
Yeah. Yeah, layman's terms for me always. Jean was saying, I want to try the Wacom Intuos Pro paper tablet. Yeah, I've heard that like people.
Oh yeah.
There are digital ways to to make it feel a little bit more maybe like natural. Like you're drawing on paper. I think Jeremy earlier this week.
It's really good.
Oh, you have used it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Does it feel?
I like the feel.
Yeah, feels more natural.
Like paper. But I still prefer drawing directly onto. Well, I've used the external one that has a paper feel. So I don't know if there's one that's like a screen, where you draw onto the screen. It's paper feel, but I prefer drawing directly onto a screen.
Yeah. Personally. Yeah, we mentioned a couple of artists last stream, I think, but are there any artists that, blow your mind? Any particular
blow my
artists?
mind? James Dean.
That's the question.
James Dean, big time.
Nice.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just going to say Johanna's just shared James Dean's portfolio in the chat for people to check out if they're not familiar.
He is bloody amazing, like amazing, kills me. He's like my main obsession. Who else do I really love? I can never think on the spot.
You mentioned last time Mark Conlon as well.
Yeah, he's a mate too. He's really good. And Bill Hope, actually, I love his work so much. I know he's in chat, but he's amazing. Like I've seen him draw live.
Yeah.
And it blew me away and made me mad intimidated. Who else do I love? And
you did mention Zeke's Lunchbox last time as well. So
I don't know her name, like real name, but she goes by Zeke's Lunchbox on Instagram, and she is phenomenal. Also, I did speak to her about doing one of these, but she's super busy right now.
Yeah. Cool.
So I can give you her email or something to contact her later.
Yeah, sure. Nice one. I like it.
But she's amazing. She does awesome, like fantasy style, crazy stuff. And right now she's designing a tarot deck, which is taking up a lot of her time.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it to come through into fruition.
Asking if you're a fan of Katsuya Terada. Have you heard of that artist before?
Who's that? I don't think so. Send me a link or something.
Yeah. I'll send you a link after. You check it out.
Please.
I think Jeremy Lord may have mentioned Katsuya Terada the other day. Yeah.
I do follow a lot of artists but don't remember their names. Like I just remember their style. So it could be one of those ones.
Yeah.
Maybe and then
we have about 9 minutes left. Can you believe it?
I can't, to be honest.
So fast.
Crazy, yeah.
So chat, we've got 9 minutes left. We're going to be back. This is part 1 of 2. And next week, we were planning on focusing on flowers. So we were talking about that at the beginning of the stream. So Bianca would love to draw some flowers. But it'd be interesting to hear from you. What do you think Bianca should sketch? What should we
add?
What should we add to it?
To the image. So
we'll
zoom out.
crowdsource our brief. That
So
purple's
just
really
another
cool. It's
element.
making it all pop so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the purple. Good choice, guys. This is another one of those details that I probably don't need to do. The little dots on that. But I'm going to do it anyway because we've got some time, sort of.
Sometimes, sort of.
Yeah. Oh, it's lagging a little bit again. We love that.
There's a question in chat. Is there any particular feature when drawing people that you like the least? Like, for example, they used to hate drawing eyes.
I love drawing it all. I don't know. That's what I like to do. I like drawing faces. So for me, I love drawing eyes. I love drawing mouths. I probably don't care about ears. I don't really care about ears. So maybe that's my answer. But I love noses and eyes and lips and eyebrows too.
Cool.
Speaking of eyebrows, I think I did hers like way too arched. So we might, it's like way too pointy.
What does the cut in the eyebrow mean? Can I ask you that? Do you know?
I don't think it means anything personally. I don't think it does. I think it's just like a badass thing. But I'm sure it probably did have meaning way back when.
One
Just
day.
like the teardrop tattoo meant that you'd killed someone. And now it's just like a cool thing to tattoo on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want a face tattoo.
What would you get?
Badly. I would get a love heart tattooed like by my eye, I think.
Right, like the teardrop but a love heart.
Yeah, exactly. And something like here. I don't know why I really like tattoos there. Yeah.
Nice.
I like
We'll see you one day on
tattoos.
stream. You'll be like, check it out. I got it.
Oh, I want a skull tattoo too, badly, but my dad would literally disown me.
Oh, no.
So perhaps not.
As we get towards the end, maybe Johanna, you can share the link one more time just for anyone that is joining us now or maybe missed the link because it does get lost up in chat of the file, what we're referencing. If you want to have a go, that would be super cool. We only gave Bianca like 2 hours, but you actually have a week because we'll be back next week. A little bit more time. You can use any app you want. We'd love to see it. If you tag Bianca or hashtag Adobe Live, I'll keep an eye on that. Next week, we'll just make sure that we see it in some way. You can tag me too, but I think it'd be way more fun to tag Bianca.
I'll share them too as well.
And we will show it on stream. It'll be super cool. I'd love to see your artistic style. Don't be intimidated. You can do it in whatever way you want, however much time you might have. It'd be super, super cool.
That's what I wanted to do.
Wow, the detail on the hair is incredible.
I spent a lot of my time on the hair. I feel like I shouldn't have spent as much time, but that's you live and you learn, don't you?
It looks great.
Thank you. I'm going to do a little bit more to it after we time off, I think, as well, just so it's Gucci for next ep.
It's cool. Here we are, about 4 minutes left.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Wild. Time's out so soon.
Really does. This is awesome. This is looking awesome, Bianca, from Ibrahim. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Super cool.
Appreciate it.
And that link is in chat. Thank you, Johanna, for sharing that to the Dropbox file. So you can check that out. Grab that. If you're watching this on YouTube, we'll also leave it in the YouTube comments down below. Once I can edit that, once the video is processed, usually takes about an hour. It'll be there, and so you can freely download that. Have a go. Tag us. Be here next week. You're gonna have your tattoo by next week?
I doubt it. Are there any tattoo places open during this time? I actually have a tattoo gun, and my brother keeps begging me to tattoo his foot for some reason. Like, are you serious? Because I can do it, but I don't think that would be smart.
So you're just lightening the neck a little bit, like adding a bit of,
a little bit shading-ish. It's not really, but a little bit.
And you're putting that on a different layer and then playing with the transparency.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
love what you're asking. So great. You know what you're doing. Perhaps not, but perhaps we'll see. I like the color it adds, but I don't think have I cut. So I just cut that from that layer, and I'm going to reduce it just a little bit more. And I like to really enhance the colors that are there a lot of the time. So like if there's blush, even if there's not blush, like I'll put blush on dudes. But I like to enhance it just because it adds more color, you know? Not that much though. Like this. Because anyone can draw something how it is, but it's like how you interpret it really. It makes things awesome.
Yeah, totally. Like make it your own. Even if it's from a reference. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the pop, but I feel like we'll see. When I hunch over like that, am I in the screen anymore or no, not really?
Yeah, you're moving around a little bit, but that's cool.
Okay.
It's fine.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that we only have 45 seconds left for us to wind down so that we're not cut off. Behance can be is cruel and will cut us right off. And I want to make sure that we say thank you and everything and take a final look. Final look at everything. Chat, you've been awesome today. Thank you so much.
Big time. Love the interaction.
Some great questions in there. Love the interaction. This is looking incredible, Bianca. Super cool.
Thank you. I'll make it a little bit larger. Yeah, sorry. And then we'll continue on with it next week.
Yes.
And add, oops, maybe not. Okay. And add a new element. Hype. And finish the whole thing as a whole.
Amazing. Super cool. Please get involved. We'd love to see what you come up with. Just tag Bianca in there, hashtag Adobe Live in there. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll bring it in on stream if you do have a go. We'll leave the file available down below in YouTube as well, so you can just download that and have a go in your own style, however you want, using whatever software application, pen and paper, and take a photo on your phone if you want. That would be super cool. And one final thank you to you, Bianca, as well.
Thanks so much, Flute. I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.